Okay, so restorative it is. We are going to start in Supta Baddha with a bolster across and some bricks for your thighs, and then for the head, I've got 2 blocks and a blanket on top, right? So if you don't have the exact blocks, you can improvise, but it needs to look like something like this. So also the feet together, supporting the thighs, so that the groins can relax, and then having some space between the bolster and the blocks for the shoulders to be able to go down, right? So the chest is lifted, and the bolster is just catching the lower tips of the shoulder blades. It's not in your low back, but it's in your thoracic spine. And then arms go out to the side through that gap. You want the chin to be a little lower than the forehead. And that's it. Off you go. I wish I could just stay here now after all my running around. But one thing for sure, I've been teaching restorative classes this morning, and so I feel a little more chilled out actually. So just make sure that the chin is down lower than the forehead, Lisa. So you need a bit more height for the head. There is Sarah. And just allow yourself to settle into your body. With each next breath out, allow yourself to become heavier, to let go a little more. Letting go of anything that you don't need right now. Now, Michelle, the bolster needs to come down lower. Yes, you need gap there for the arms to go through the. So between the bolster and your blocks, you need some gap for the arms. Yeah, so the arms go to the floor, out to the side and to the floor. That's it. And palms face up. So the shoulders can go roll back and go down. Relax the face or the facial muscles. When you close the eyes, as you did close your eyes from top to bottom, imagine that you are looking away from the thinking brain down towards the heart, towards the chest, as if you are moving the control center from the brain towards the heart. Just taking a few breaths from there. See how that changes the perception of yourself. As if you are being controlled not by the thinking brain, but from the heart center. Relax the jaws, the tongue, the throat. Relax any tension in the fingers and in your toes. Let the abdomen be completely soft and heavy. Now bringing your awareness to the breath and just feel how the breath moves your body, where the skin moves with the breath from the inside, where the skin touches the cloth as you breathe, without any judgment, just feeling how it is at this moment. So as we do this practice, trying to keep your attention with the sensations of the body and the breath, the more you can be present with the breath and the body, the more you get out of it. Yeah. All right, and now slowly you can start taking the knees back together. And you can roll yourselves to the right side. Come up, and we are going to do a dog pose. Mukha Svanasana. Using the chair if you have an appropriate chair. I haven't done it like this for a while, so just let me remind myself. So see, I have some blocks and then bricks on top, and then good thing to have some padding. And then maybe a bolster for the head. Let me just test it out first. So the chair, if you've got the yoga chair, folded chairs, is in the hip crease. And then you're coming forward and you're walking the feet back and then bringing the hands forward. That footboard is not doing me that much good. So depending on the length of the spine, you see how this works. I think for me, because I'm longer, I might need a bit more distance here. So I'm gonna try with the bricks like this. Give me more space for the hands. Yeah, okay, this is better. All right, so it's a nice resting way to do it without, if you were here with me, I would have you in the rows, but this is actually quite good. If you have a second blanket, maybe a blanket for the head rather than the bolster might be a good idea. And if you don't have a proper chair, then you just do it without. If you don't have a chair, then have a bolster for the head. Have a proper chair, you can do it like this. With the hands against the wall, and then with the head on a bolster. Okay, then you wouldn't have so much height actually for the hands, just blocked without just one block. Okay, I hope it's making sense. Lisa, take your heels out more, away from each other, heels out, toes in. Just allow yourself to settle. So even if it's a resting way to do the pose, you still want to keep your legs reasonably firm. Yeah, that bolster there is not doing much good, Mary, because you want the spine to extend, not around the back. I was just kind of experimenting with it. Yeah. Just something smaller for the head would be better than the bolster, actually. So that the head has some support. So here we are pacifying the brain. And that lift of the chair is good, isn't it? It feels good because it's lifting the pelvic bones and making space for the spine, for the abdomen. So again, with the breath out, see where you need to let go. With the breath in, make your legs firm. Lifting the buttocks high. With the breath out, letting go where you need to let go. So with the head support, noticing how that facilitates the quietness of the brain, the front brain moving to the back brain, the eyes deep into the eye sockets. So that the awareness is more towards the back body, the back of the head. All right, just a few more seconds. And then slowly, slowly coming up. Remember, if you've got low blood pressure, you might feel dizzy, so come up slowly. So bending your knees, walk your feet forward, and then come up, and we are going to do Uttanasana. So in this way, there are different ways we can do things, as you know. Like this with the chair. So we are going to, again, have some support so that the back of the chair is the height of the crease here. And then you may need either a bolster or maybe just a blanket for the head. Yeah. Feet are hip width apart. So this time we want to have the heels underneath the buttocks. And then as you go forward, lengthening through the front body as you relax down. Yeah, so you want to get the extension of the spine first before you get to the support with the head. It feels so good. Hold your elbows, Sarah. So that's for everybody. When you are holding the arms, make sure that you hold your elbows, not just the wrists or the forearms, because when you hold the elbows firmly, you keep the extension in the side body. But once, you know, if your elbows go out, then you don't, then kind of the opposite happens. They start to shorten. So to lengthen, to keep lengthening the spine, you want to hold the elbows. Now Lisa, heels out, toes in. Yeah, so the thighs need to roll inwards from outside to the inside to create space for the lumbar. Take your hands forward, Trish, to give yourself support. Yeah, it's better for the back. And make sure your forehead is supported with something, because that's what you need to be able to relax really well. And so we'll try to stay there for a good few minutes. So you know this one is very helpful to counter any anxiety, especially. And it really, really works. It's so good to have, to know. Yeah? So when you're feeling anxious, stressed, that this is something that you can do to slow the system down. Noticing what happens to the breath in this pose, how possibly it slows down. The heart rate also slows down. See if you can notice it. Keep your awareness with the breath. Soft, smooth, slightly longer, deeper breaths. Breath awareness though, not breath control. All right, about half a minute longer. All right, so now slowly prepare to come out. Bend the knees, again coming up slowly if you tend to have lower blood pressure, so if you don't feel dizzy. And so in that sequence of emotional stability, you would be heading towards headstand, hanging upside down, but we won't be doing that. So we will do another pose with head down, Restorative. So you can have a chair, blanket, taking the feet wide, and from the hips coming forward, arms overhead, and just resting the forehead on the chair. And hopefully with your back straight. If your back is not straight, you might have to have the bolster or something hard so that the spine can release. Okay. Remember, it's important that when the forehead is supported, that the skin of the forehead is moving down towards the ears. Because when it goes up the other way, it's not that relaxing, yeah? That look of kind of that startling look you don't want. Yeah, so the forehead, and you can try both. It's quite interesting to really feel how it works, feeling the difference. The skin of the forehead heading down towards the eyes. Legs are firm, slightly, not crazy. But lift the buttocks high so that your spine can release. Hold your elbows again, not the wrists, the elbows. This point is kind of hard to hit home for lots of people. So feel the difference. When you hold the elbows, you can feel that you're still lengthening. Yeah, the spine is still lengthening. But if you just hold your forearms or the wrists, you lose that. You lose that extension. So you want the spine to still be long. Be aware still of the breath, the sensations in the body. When the mind runs away with whatever thought there is, just bring it back. As soon as you notice it, bring it back to your breath. So that's how the practice becomes a meditation. All right, and now slowly preparing to come up. Again, slowly. And so we are going to change direction again. First, we're going to do twist with the chair. And we're going to do a supported back bend. Vipara, Viparita, and Dasa. So I'm going to do the twist with the legs through the back of the chair. And I have a block here for myself because Yeah, so if you're taller, sit in the block. If you're shorter, then you don't need it. And so when you're turning, you're going to be turning to the right side. Have a break between your hip and the right side of the chair. And then, so pulling at the back of the chair first to lift the chest, and with the breath out and turning towards the right side. Yeah, so your right hand is holding the corner of the chair or the block, with the breath in lifting, and with the breath out turning. Lifting and turning. Using the whole of the forearms to pull to help you turn, lift, and turn. And the brick is there to stop you, to stop the hip moving back. So your right hip needs to stay put. Yeah. Lifting and turning. Close your eyes, and when we do twists, it's quite an internal work. You've got to really feel the turn from the inside. So as you breathe in, so with the eyes closed, imagine that you are making space between the vertebrae, lifting from the base up, and with the breath out, turning. Imagine the spine as a spiral staircase that you climb from the base up slowly. And so that's the inner dynamic of the pose. So with the breath in, think of creating space between each vertebrae. And with the breath out, using the forearm to help you turn. And imagine the spine as a spiral that you climb from the base up, going around that spiral staircase. Okay, and then as you inhale, you can untwist, come back to center. Have the brick on the other side. Between the left hip and the chair. First, pulling at the back of the chair to lift, to lengthen through the front body. We'll do it together. I'm doing it with you at the same time. And just see that your feet are in line, that they're hip width apart, they're square. And as you breathe out, then take your right arm over the back of the chair. Catch hold of the corner of the chair or the block with your left hand behind as you inhale, creating space, and as you breathe out, pulling at the back of the chair. With use the whole of the forearm to turn to your left side. Inhaling, lifting, making space. And as you breathe out, then turning more. And again, close the eyes and see how you can feel the turn from the inside. So as you inhale, think of creating space between the vertebrae, and with the breath out, just allow yourself, picture that spiral staircase that you climb from the base up, bit by bit, noticing where the spine is turning easier, where it's not so easy. And also be aware of how the breath goes, where the breath goes around your back. And if you feel that the breath is much more on one side of the back than the other, then see if you can breathe into the part of the back where you can't feel it. That will change. The body will then adjust and come to alignment. Yeah? So the breath will always tell you the truth of how you are. Are you aligned or are you not? All right, then as you inhale, you can untwist, come back to center. Now to your chair, we're going to prepare for Vipada Viparinadandasana, for back bend in the chair. So it's a good thing to have sometimes some teachers do it with the blanket on the chair, but I prefer the mat because there's no traction. So you can put the mat on top of the chair. You really need to have an harmony. And then something for the head, but also something for your feet. So let's say something like this, 4 blocks for the head. And then bolster, you could have a bolster standing up for the feet, there's some height. And sorry, I just have to get my belt. So belt is for your thighs. Okay, so you get to the inside of the chair, start on the edge. The belt is useful so that you don't have to hold your legs to stay in place, your knees don't splay out, and the belt is keeping them hip width apart. Don't have it too tight, yeah, so it's like this, hip width. Then measuring the distance, and a little bit tricky to start. So starting on the edge and nearly off the edge of the chair, because when you go back, remember, you want to have the lower bits of the shoulder blades on the edge of the chair. And then we do the stages. So first, pressing the hands by the side of the chair. Let your knees bend. And then you can take your feet on your bolster to straighten the legs. That supported. That's too high for me. Yeah, and then you can take your arms out to the sides. And then arms over. At last. Yeah, this is, as you know, most of you, this is more intense here. Okay. And then to come out, get your hold of the side of the chair, feet down. Just measure your distance kind of roughly, because when you go back, then you will know better. So when you go back and then you take one foot on your bolster, and if you can't reach, you should be able to reach the ball, at least at the ball mount of the foot, if not the heel. You don't have to reach it with the heel, but the ball mount. So starting on the edge, so when you go back, you're a bit too far out, burn it there. You need to come forward to the inside of the chair more. So when you go back, it's the lower tips of the shoulder blades that are on the edge of the chair. So you want that extension, the back bend in your upper back, not so much in your lower back. It's the upper back that's rigid, that doesn't want to bend backwards. That's where you want that extension. Okay. So find your spot. If you take your arms out and it feels like the shoulders are popping up, that's not the best way to be. So it's better maybe to take the arms underneath the chair or keep holding the chair. Yeah, so wherever is comfortable. Just hold the chair to relax the elbows, to relax the shoulders. Don't have the head too supported. You want to be in a back bend. So unless there is any pain in your neck, you can take your head back slightly. So the neck should feel in a neutral position, but in extension. So that the support is kind of at the back of the head. And just once you're there settled, just be with the breathing. And try and stay there for a few minutes. So have we straightened the legs already to the bolster? Everybody? Only do that, of course, if there is no twinge in your lower back. If there is, then it's better to bend your knees. So arms, you can bring your arms out and you get that stretch in your upper arms. But be aware that when the arms go out, that the shoulders stay down. They don't popping up. Soft, smooth, slightly longer, deeper breaths. As you breathe out, encouraging the breath from the chest down into the abdomen. And as you breathe in, breathing in from the abdomen up into the chest. And there's a kind of a slight delay when we observe the breath. So sometimes I use the analogy of the house. Remember, so imagining the trunk is like the house and your breath is your guest, and you are walking in front of your guest, opening the doors. Yeah, so as you open it, so you are walking in front of the guest as the awareness of the breath, and then the breath goes to follow. You can also imagine as if you're smelling a beautiful rose and you really want to smell the fragrance as you breathe. At last, if you haven't done so yet, if you feel to call, if you are called to do that, take your arms overhead. And you can either fold the arms, holding the elbows, or keep them straight. You can alternate between the two. All right, and now, so get hold of the sides of the chair once more. And just be there for a moment and feel the difference. So after being all the way with the arms over, when you now take your hands to the sides of the chair, you'll feel much more relaxed. Yeah, feel the spaciousness in the abdomen and the diaphragm. It's a good feeling. And then from there, you can bend your knees one at a time, bringing the feet back to the floor. And then as you pull at the side of the chair, you're going to pull yourself straight up without twisting. And just give yourself a moment there, just sitting feeling. Okay, so now we're going to prepare for shoulder stand. So if anybody has a period, you don't do this, I'll do something else, let me know. Otherwise, shoulder stand with a chair. So I'm not sure, Laura, it's up to you if you've done this before. I can't see you there, you are on your phone, so I can't really take responsibility for what you're doing. So I'll show you and you can decide. I'll show you alternative as well, this is too much. Okay, so you've got a rolled up mat on the edge of the chair. And then blanket over the top for your feet or for your legs. And then bolster for your shoulders. Yeah. And you are sitting with the legs wide. I'm going to get into this. You've got to have your knees out of the chair, not through the chair. And you're sitting in front of that roll first. Then hooking yourself here, taking the knees over the dog. As you see, I'm sitting in front of, I'm not sitting on the mat yet. And as I go down, then my sacrum will be on that roll. I can move the bolster so that it's really under my shoulders, taking the arms to the inside of the chair, and either holding the bar that goes across, or you can also hold the sides, whichever is more comfortable for the elbows. And here is your supported shoulder stand. Very, very good for you. So be here for a while, and after a couple of variations, we are going to just do Baddha Konasana, taking the knees out. Very good for the abdominal organs. And then we take the knees together, keeping the sacrum down flat as you lift the legs up one at a time. Feet are together in this, Viparita Karani. All right, and then coming back. And then to go down, you take your feet here, taking the arms out, sliding back, buttocks down, resting. Okay? If you are not doing this, if you're not going upside down, or if you're not used to this, it's scary for you, then you can just do this. So some blanket or something on the chair, make it more comfortable for your feet. And I've got a bolster for my shoulders, 2 blocks for the buttocks. And if I had a second blanket, I would have it on top of the blocks, but it's okay. And then I'm going to just take the feet together on the chair and go lying down with the bolster supporting the upper back again. So it's the back of the head is on the floor and the lower tips of the shoulder blades are on it. So it's kind of like what you did at the beginning, if you remember, but with the feet up. Yeah, so there's a little bit of upside down, but the abdomen is flat. So you could try this one. Okay. Now just stay with the legs straight to start, Neem. So try and be there for a good few minutes. Don't be rushing through the variations. Just stay still. Yeah, Mary, a little bit to go, a little bit to shoulders down, no, yeah, good. Then pull yourself in, but the bolster needs to come more closer towards the chair. So you see, we can wiggle. Yeah, that's it. Hair out of the way, and then arms to the inside of the chair. Hold the back of the chair inside, if you can. I'm sure you can. Can you take your arms to the inside of the chair, Mary? Yep. And then hold the back of the chair. You've got the right chair. And then straighten in the legs. Good. And just be with the breath, enjoy it. Really good for you. What's up, Lisa?
All the size of me and the chair, I don't have very much room, and it just doesn't feel ergonomically like it's going to work. I'm too far down to the ground or something. I'll do what I'm doing, and you can tell me.
Yeah. So have something. You need something on top of the chair to make it.
I have a blanket at the top. That's a blanket there.
No, you need something for the sacrum.
Okay. So yeah, no, I had this. I had my rolly mat.
You have
I had my mat, yeah. So that's taking up. I'm supposed to sit in here. Look, I'll show you. Watch.
Let me see you.
I'm like on it.
Yeah.
When I should be in front of it.
Try to be as much in front of it as you can so that you don't fall off it as you go down. Also be careful with the chair. It's a different kind of chair. It's not
yeah. I don't know if it's a suitable chair.
Well, we'll see. If it doesn't feel stable, then
it feels stable, but I feel too high up when I go back.
Okay, well, let's see. Yeah, and you need to come out more now. Let yourself. No, yeah, keep going down. Take your buttocks. Yeah, take your buttocks back. No, the other way.
Towards the chair or out of the chair?
Out of the chair, so your shoulders go down. No, don't come up. Go down. Keep going down.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Nearly there, nearly there. Shoulders need to touch the bolster. Shoulder. That's it. And then see if you can take your arms through the inside. Make sure your hair is out of the way, so it's not you're not lying. Yeah, and then straighten the legs. Perfect.
Thank you.
Well,
I can't mute myself now. Sorry.
No, that's good. So we need to stay in this one for about 5 minutes to really feel the benefits. I'm just gonna mute you again, Lisa, sorry. You can really get into this. I was doing it earlier between my classes just to, and I didn't want to come out of it. I was there for 10 minutes. Like, it felt so good. So again, the secret is to be with the breath, to be completely present with the breathing. And in this pose, the breath, you can feel the breath real deep in your lungs as you breathe. As you breathe out from the chest down into the abdomen. And then as you breathe in from the abdomen up into the chest. And you can feel how it's spreading to the side chest as you breathe in. All right, so now we can go on with the variation. So you can do Baddha Konasana. Bringing the soles of the feet together on top of the chair. Let the knees come out to the side. And feel that nice space you get in your abdomen, in your abdominal space. Yeah, so very nice to counter the gravity as it's pulling us down, or the abdominal organs moving down, and then very often women especially get prolapse. So this is one to really counter that. All right, and now you can take your knees back together. And coming into Viparita Karani, carefully, so lifting one leg, and then the other leg. Finding your balance, don't go over. But trying to keep the buttocks still flat on your chair. I used to have a chair like this, Lisa, for years. I was never one for investing any money into my yoga props. So you kind of have to work out what you need. I can see that maybe it's a little high, so you want to have the sacrum flat on the chair still in this. So maybe for this chair, you wouldn't have next time, this is okay for today, but just having the mat flat rather than rolled up, because that gives you more height there. You know what I mean? All right, and then take your legs over the back of the chair one at a time. Stand there for the last few moments. And then you can bend your knees, take your feet to the top of the chair. Once the feet are on there, then you can take your arms out of the chair and start to slide back carefully until the buttocks are on your bolster. And just lying down, staying there for a moment, for a few moments. For the first 10 seconds, you will really feel the effects of what you have done. A deep sense of relaxation and feeling energized at the same time, hopefully. All right, good. So now you can roll yourself to the right side. And I would like you to do kind of a high Satupatha Shavasana. This is very nice. You will still need your chair. And so you want to have some blanket for the shoulders. So let me show you. So blanket for the shoulders. And then I have a break ready. Now I know that for myself, I will need a little more height. So I'm gonna have a break. This is for women, it's like this. And for men, that way, just because of the different shape of the pelvis. Yeah, so it's gonna go under the sacrum. So just have a look first. So you're going to lie down with the shoulders on that blanket, taking the feet on your chair, lifting the buttocks high, tucking the shoulders under, and then taking that break underneath the sacrum. So I've got the block, flat block, and then the brick on top, but you might just be happy with just the brick. Yeah? And it's in the sacrum, see where it is? And then I'm going to straighten the legs. So it's a high supported bridge. And I really like it like this. In this way, you know that sometimes you do it with a bolster, you do different ways. But this actually feels really good. Yeah, you don't need a belt for your thighs because the sides of the chair will be holding the legs in place. Go for it. Yeah, so you can see the setup, how I have it. But when you lie down, first have the brick on the sides, then you press your feet down on the chair to lift your buttocks, and then you slide the brick underneath the sacrum, widthways for women, and then it should be flat, so your sacrum should be flat on the brick. Yes, it needs to be in a little bit more, Lisa, a little bit away from the buttocks, the brick. Let me see. Yeah, move it into your, yeah, so it's in the sacrum. Make sure it's not lopsided, it's a bit lopsided, Lisa, so that it doesn't fall. And if it feels too high with the other book, then don't bother it. Yeah, might be too much. Okay. And just with the arms by the sides. And again, just being with the breath, feeling how the breath is in this pose. Again, there's this big openness in the chest. All right, well done. So you'll slowly prepare to come out. Bend your knees. Press the feet against the seat of the chair as you lift the buttocks up. Take your brick away and then slowly take yourself back down. And we are just going to do a couple of poses to encourage positive thinking and relaxation. So, Baddha Konasana. You're just sitting on some blanket with the soles of the feet together, pulling So you have two fingers around your two big toe, or around your big toes, as you slightly pull at your big toes, rolling the shoulders back, lifting the chest. We won't be here very long, just a minute. Pressing the heels against each other and knees out to the side. And it's that lift from the lower abdomen that you want. So yeah, so feeling the lift from the lower abdomen. As you press the heels against each other, letting the knees come out to the side, and the slight kind of lift, tightening of the buttocks, and from there lifting. Encouraging positive thinking is in that sequence for emotional stability at the end. The one from the back of the book, Light on Life by B.K. Singer. All right, and then you can release, bring your knees back up. And we're going to do Upavishta Konasana. And with that, we finish. So you can sit yourself. I'm gonna sit on a corner of a blanket just. But if you need more height, get yourself more height. Again, just staying here for about a minute, taking the feet wide, but not too wide to lose control. Yeah, so just enough. And if you can, for those who can, you're going to hold the big toes. But if that's too much, then I'll show you something easier. But as you pull at the big toes there, again, lifting the chest up. So again, it's about that lift. And if you can't hold the big toes, then you can just have some breaks in front of you, pressing the hands down, and from there lift it. So you still get some lift. Keeping the legs firm. Yeah. So what I don't want you to do is kind of just about hold on with the back around it. The back has to be straight. Yeah. So shoulders go down and the spine is lifting. So breathe, stay. And again, slight kind of squeezing of the outer hips in so that you really feel the lift from the lower abdomen, from the bottom of the pelvic floor. There shouldn't be any tension around the shoulders. Let me see. Lisa, can you relax the shoulders down? Yeah. And legs are firm, Sarah. So the thighs have to, that's for everybody, the thighs have to press down. If they don't, then the spine can't lift anywhere. Yeah. All right, and then you can relax. Bend your knees, bring your feet together, and relaxation time. So let's just do it. Let's do it with the bolster. I used to do this a lot, then moved on, but it's a nice way to even lift the chest. So we have a bolster, good one, blanket for the head. And so sitting in front of the bolster. And when you're lying down, you want the bolster to be supporting the ribs in the rib cage, and then blanket under your head, making sure your chin is down lower than the forehead, and then straightening the legs, letting the feet just flop to the sides, arms up to the sides. So it's a nice way to get, yeah, so you've got the nice spaciousness in the chest. The lumbar, the lower of the back should not have the support. It's only, it starts at the rib cage. And so just letting go. But before you let go completely, let's just do a few slightly longer, deeper breaths, conscious breaths. So as you breathe out, breathing from the chest all the way down to the abdomen. And as you breathe in from the abdomen up into the chest. And let's see if there are any pauses. If you breathe out and there is a pause after you breathe out completely, just let the pause be there and just observe it. So that's called Ujjayi breath. And then as you breathe in from the abdomen up into the chest, and if you observe that there is a pause without forcing anything, that's important that you don't force this, just observe it. It could just be a second or two or three. So just see if there are any pauses after your breath out and then after your breath in. Can you still be aware? Resting as the awareness, as the witness. I'm going to leave you with this poem. Maybe now, maybe I am complete. I just have to uncover all the bits and pieces of me that I hid because I thought they were ugly, that I abandoned because they hurt so much, that I dressed up so you would like them, that I camouflaged so you would overlook them, that I forgot because they seemed insignificant, that I never touched because I was afraid, that I overlooked because they were always there. The list goes on. Maybe it is time. It is to uncover all of them because I am complete. So please relax for as long as you need to. You will find that the relaxation is deeper now after what you've done. And I hope that you sleep well tonight and have a nice week. And I shall see you all next week. Good night.